He was crowned to serve his people. She lived to serve her people. But behind the glittering tiaras and grand banquets, Queen Elizabeth's daily diet tells a quieter story, a story of discipline, routine, and surprising simplicity. Imagine access to the world's finest ingredients, 20 chefs at your disposal, and yet you choose cereal and tea from a Tupperware. Today we pull back the curtain on what the Queen really ate every single day and reveal how her plate kept the monarchy moving. This isn't royal gossip, it's real. And it might just change how you see the crown and the kitchen. One breakfast, tea, cereal, and simplicity. The day didn't begin with a 5-course feast for the Queen. It began quietly. Every morning, without fail, she would have a pot of Earl Grey tea, milk, no sugar, and a few biscuits. Then came her main breakfast, a bowl of cereal, often Special K, sometimes toast with marmalade, or even kippers if the mood took her. No huge fry-up, no lavish spread, just fuel. Even when she had 20 chefs waiting, she insisted the cereal be kept crisp. Yes, kept in a Tupperware to preserve freshness. Why does this matter? Because it shows something rare in royalty: repeatability. Routine. A diet not built for show, but built for service. And while the world expected indulgence, she chose restraint. But while breakfast was modest, lunch told an entirely different story. One of estate produce, tradition, and no starch in sight. To lunch. Light, local, and low carb. When lunch rolled around, the Queen favoured something light, local and lean. Her former personal chef revealed she often chose grilled sole or salmon with wilted spinach or courgettes. She avoided starchy sides like pasta, rice or potatoes, especially when dining alone. The produce came from her estates, fish from the River Dee at Balmoral, vegetables from Windsor. It wasn't starvation, it was smart, because every day the Queen had engagements, ceremonies, public duties, and a heavy meal would have slowed her down. She once joked, or her chef recalled, it wasn't about indulgence. She eats to live, whereas Prince Philip lives to eat. And yet, come mid-afternoon, even the Queen allowed a classic British ritual that millions envy, but with her own royal twist. 3 afternoon tea, tradition with a twist. At precisely 5 o'clock, or wherever she was in the world, the Queen took her afternoon tea, standard fare, sandwiches, cucumber, smoked salmon, egg mayonnaise, often with the crusts cut off. Jam pennies, tiny circular jam sandwiches made just for her, were still a childhood favourite. But despite grandeur, she kept it modest. No creams, no heavy glazes, and always respect for the ingredient. Her afternoon meal reaffirmed her identity: quiet, British, and consistent. As evening came, so did real dinner. But once again it stripped back the dramatics in favour of something far more practical and telling. 4. Dinner. Game, fish and chocolate. Dinner for the Queen wasn't a banquet of excess. It was elegiac, almost discreet. She preferred game birds like pheasant or venison from her estates, or fish such as halibut on a bed of spinach. Dessert? Often fresh fruit, strawberries from Balmoral, white peaches from Windsor, but she never hid a sweet tooth. Dark chocolate especially. Not only did she pick ingredients by origin, but also by feel, comfort, familiarity, memory. Her meals revealed a woman grounded by her roots despite royalty's demands. But perhaps the boldest part of her diet wasn't what she ate, it was what she didn't eat. And that tells an even sharper story. 5. What she avoided. The hidden rules of royal eating, royal chefs agree. Some things simply never passed the Queen's lips. Garlic? Banished. Onions? rare. Strong flavours that might compromise conversation, off the menu. Shellfish on tours, generally avoided because the risk of food poisoning could interfere with duty. Starchy sides at dinner, almost never. Pasta, rice, heavy potatoes were not standard, and when it came to treats, chocolate yes, but milk chocolate? Not nearly as much as dark. She wanted depth, not sugar rush. Why does this matter? Because it isn't just diet, it's identity, it's discipline, and it's a reflection of the crown. Now you know the what, the why, the how, but there's one final part of her daily routine you'll rarely hear about, and it will colour your entire view of royal dining. 6. The secret menu. How meals were chosen each week, a red leather menu book, in French, was prepared for the Queen. She would tick what she wanted, cross out what she didn't. Some weeks she crossed out everything and asked for something entirely new. The power wasn't just in the throne, it was in the pen, in the palace. Even food was democracy, carefully managed, gracefully executed. And every item was chosen with her duties in mind. No food poisoning, no bad breath, no disruption. Because in the end, the royal diet isn't about indulgence, it's about service. But service often demands sacrifice, and what it all meant. Lessons from the royal table. When you strip away the glamour, the jewels, and the public appearances, what remains is a woman who valued consistency, simplicity, and control. Her diet reflects values, not vanity. It's about staying ready, staying relevant, staying regal. For the crown, what is on the plate matters just as much as what is on the page. Her everyday meals weren't photo ops. They were tools of continuity. And for you, they might offer a lesson too. Structure matters. Routine matters. Even in extraordinary lives, it's the ordinary choices that define us. So next time you pour your tea, make your toast, or choose your dinner plate, remember, you may not be queen, but you still serve yourself every day. The world knew her as monarch. We just knew her through glimpses. Now you know her through her plate, her habits, her choices. Queen Elizabeth's diet wasn't about luxury, it was about legacy. If you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at the royal kitchen, subscribe to Crown Chronicles and join us next time as we uncover the secret rules that even the royals follow. Which part of her diet surprised you the most? The cereal in Tupperware, the no garlic rule, or the jam pennies? Share your thoughts below and we'll see you at the next dinner table.